Hello, and welcome back to the Homeschool Library. It is a beautiful day out here by the Little Green Schoolhouse, November the 1st, 2025. And I just realized that yesterday was Halloween, and I completely forgot to post the video that I had originally wanted to make for that day. The last couple of weeks, everybody's been posting their spooky Halloween reads, and that's great. I knew I wanted to throw something out there, but I completely forgot about it. We don't do much here as a family for Halloween. Uh, it can get a little much, I think, with all the spooky types. It's just we don't. We really don't. We like to have a little bit of fun with it, though, as far as the season is concerned. Broke out some of the old Universal monster movies this year. Introduced the kids to Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's always been one of my favorites. And but for the just a Halloween book, I wanted to throw something out there that this is something that I haven't seen anybody share yet. Now, the book itself, you may be familiar with one of my favorite literary vampires, Varney. Varney the Vampire. Here, this is the Wordsworth edition, the Wordsworth Press. This is a tome. It is a thick, thick book, over 800 pages. Okay, no, over 1,100 pages in Varney the Vampire. I wanted to bring out this edition because this one is one that I haven't seen anybody share from their own collections. You know what that may be? Because it's not as special as some of the others. I know there's a 2-volume set out there. It's a beautiful set. It contains some of the original illustrations. I know I've seen it. Michael K. Vaughan has done a couple of videos where he shows off those volumes. He's a big fan of Varney. So I'm sure you've probably seen Michael's videos on those. But I got this volume. Actually, I bought this volume before I knew that other 2-set volume existed. And I'd like to have that one someday. But I got the Wordsworth edition because it does have all of the chapter breakdowns. This was originally published as a weekly publication in the 1840s. I believe it ran every week from, September 1847. I'm sorry. That was the end of it. It ran from about the summer, August 1845 through September 1847. There were 220 chapters for the weekly serialized story of Varney the Vampire. Now, I haven't finished this yet. I've had it for a couple of years. I haven't ever got it all done. Usually I'll get started and I'll get several adventures in, and something that will pull me away, and it's always so long until I get back to it that I've got to start all the way back over. So one of these days, hopefully this winter, I'll be able to finish this. The other reason that I got this volume is because there's a lot of complaints about Varney in that it is very disjointed. Sometimes like plots just disappear and then something is picked up somewhere else. And while that is true overall, because on this weekly schedule, Rymer wasn't only writing Varney, he was writing usually a couple of others at the same time. He was very prolific for about a 15-year period there from the 1840s through the late 1860s. And so some of it is a little bit hard to follow. It's almost like he forgot what happened several issues ago, and it happens with that kind of serial publication. When these things were being written, they were being cranked out so cheaply and so quickly that usually they never expected anyone to ever have access to them again or ever be even interested in reading them again. So as long as you kept people coming back for the next episode, it didn't really matter what had gone on in previous episodes. Just keep them coming back, keep them entertained. So in the beginning here, it helps you out with that a little bit. It shows you, it doesn't give you the date of publication of all of the issues, but it does tell you there are 3, and as luck would have it, the 3 issues, the weekly issues, are all missing. They're all right together. There were 3 missing issues, chapter 41, 42, and 43. So I like having this because as I've read past that, I can see, it's like starting a completely different story here. What's been going on? Well, that's because those 3 chapters apparently no longer exist unless someone finds them in grandma's attic, maybe great-great-grandma's attic. This is a pretty old book. I think if they were still out there, someone would have found them by now. But for all of that, all of those issues over a 2-year period, for as much to be still with us as there is pretty awesome. These weren't published as one whole novel. They just came out every week. People read them, discard them, get the next week, discard that. So it's really wonderful that so many of these have been able to be saved. The thing that I love about Varney is, and again, this is something that a lot of you probably already know if you've read them or done any research or had any interest at all in the genre or this one specifically. This is really the beginning of many of our modern vampire tropes. Bram Stoker was not only inspired by Varney, he straight up lifted a lot of the scenes, some of the characters, plot lines from Varney the Vampire. So if you like Dracula, I think you'd really love Varney. And again, it is an investment of your time. You can read Dracula probably 3 or 4 times in the time that it's going to take you to get through Varney. Do not let that deter you. It is wildly entertaining. It really is. It's ridiculous at times. It is so over the top, but it's also very engaging. You care about Varney as it goes on. A lot of fun to read. One thing that I did not know until I bought this is that James Malcolm Rymer, the author, and apparently there's some controversy about whether or not he actually wrote the things that he wrote. I don't understand that. Everything that I've read, there's an introduction in this one that makes it very clear that Rymer was in fact the author. There were some issues with his publisher and a bankruptcy involved there that may be contributing to the controversy of authorship. I'm not sure where that comes from, but it seems very clear to me that Rymer is the author of Varney, and not only of Varney, and this is the part that I did not know, he also wrote a book called, also serialized, much like Varney was, a book called The String of Pearls, of which the primary antagonist was a character you may be familiar with. I just lost his name all of a sudden. Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. If you've seen the musical version with Johnny Depp, I did. I hated it. It was awful. But the character and the story are quite good. Much like Varney here. I didn't know that was the same guy that wrote those two, and it absolutely makes sense. I ordered this year. It's not here yet. I also got the Wordsworth edition of A String of Pearls, or Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I'd love to read that in its original form to see how good that is. Because again, the character is super cool. Hopefully, maybe next year we'll do we'll have a double feature on Halloween of those. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that the Wordsworth edition of Varney the Vampire, complete in one volume. It doesn't have the illustrations that other volume. I don't remember who put that out, but it does look super cool. And again, I want that someday. They also put out a 2-volume edition of A String of Pearls as well. I recently saw, but I'm keeping them to the Wordsworth. I like the 1-volume thing. So, what do you think? Have you read Varney? Have you seen other videos on Varney? What do you think? Do you want to read Varney? I recommend it. I really do. One of these days I'll finish it and I'll be able to chalk that up, because again, it is a tome, very much an investment, and an investment that I think the payoff for you will be a lot of fun. So check it out. If you haven't read Varney, do yourself a favor and stop back and let me know what you thought. Like always, start the conversation on Varney. Thank you for all of my subscribers, for the folks that engage on this channel. You're a lot of fun. I really enjoy speaking and chatting with all of you. Appreciate your comments and all the helpful, the hints, the encouragement. It goes a long way here with what we're trying to do. So happy fall, happy November, happy belated Halloween to all of you out there. And once again, from the Little Green Schoolhouse, Brad out. We'll see you next time.